I am having a hard time coming up with an intro today. Hello. Let's shoot the shit, hey? You're here? Let's talk some knitting patterns. Hi, I'm B. I own this whole thing, this whole place. And if you're if you remembered this background, you probably deserve like an old folks discount, elderly folks discount, seniors discount. There you go. If you recognize this background, you deserve a seniors discount. We're filming in the Golden Arch today because the lighting in my usual spot is absolutely shocking, and I just felt like doing it. There are so many pretty spots in our house. This was my favorite place to film, but we had to move the couch because it was ugly where it was, to be honest, and now it looks way better where it is. So there you go. That's all the explanation you need. We are going to talk my summer knitting plans today because I know it's middle June already, and I'm sure it's been summer where you are for much longer than it's been summer here. But as we are watching the climate change, as summer here is so much different than when I was a kid. So our summer has shifted from, yesterday it was 10 degrees here, 13 degrees, which is like, how do I explain that to, I have no idea what it is like when it's Fahrenheit. It's like you need to wear a light jacket, you know? You have to be warm enough outside. So our summer has shifted from middle June straight through. I was swimming in lakes still till the end of October last year. So I'm a bit late to the knitting party for summertime, and I also just finished my spring projects. So I'm going to get started with my summer projects. And I thought that I've seen Whitney do a random video, Knitted by Whitney, do a random video of all of the size inclusive summer patterns that she likes. And I've seen other people do summer pattern roundups and all this sort of thing. But I think I'm going to tell you what I am going to make for summer, because I feel that a lot of summer knitting patterns in our knitting world are either like deeply slutty, and slutty being a neutral word, not negative at all, but like certainly like showing off all the bits, like mostly made with very minimal support, because you can't have a knit top with like support. That's just not how knit tops work. Even crochet tops aren't super supportive, but they are much sturdier. Maybe I should get into that. Maybe that's my solution to my problems. But I do find that either summer knitting is matronly, all like lace, kind of covering, long silhouettes, boring colors, or it's like slutty in a fun way. Very good for like younger people, designed by younger knitters, for younger knitters with really tiny boobs. And I don't have tiny boobs, and so I fit somewhere in between. I'm young and I want to look fun, and also I feel really boring when I knit old lady patterns. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I did some research and some planning on what I wanted to do for my summer knitting. I definitely had a hard time finding patterns that really really spark joy, because right now I'm doing a lot of spinning and wool feels really fun for me. But I really want to work through my summer yarns, and I want to have summer tops to wear. It's really important to me. In the past, I have knit summer things that are made for thin bodies, or designed for thin bodies and then scaled up, or designed for bodies that don't rub as much as my body rubs and tend to look just like terrible on me, straight up terrible. And so this year I am wearing things for me, and I'm just going to show you what I'm going to knit, because I think that I'm going to be practical. I still want to look cute, so on and so forth. And I'm also stash diving, except some of these are new yarns that I bought recently. But they're my stash, so. Let's get into it. So right now, I just finished a few things. You'll see that I'm not wearing any knits because all the ones I want to wear I just finished, and I will talk about them in my next upcoming podcast episode. But don't you love this like little green bra moment? I got this in the mail yesterday. I bought it, teehee. And this top with the little green and red, and then my pants are pink and red. I feel so cute. So there's that. That's what I'm wearing today. June. I'm talking about June knitting. We're halfway through June. It's June 16th today, I think. Maybe 17th even. And I have about 2 weeks left. I am halfway through Beads of Joy top, and I'm maybe a quarter of the way through a self-drafted cotton shirt that I'm very excited about, that I might release as a pattern, so I don't want to show it. I'm very proud of it. So we'll see. We shall see. Yeah. Are you ever just like so excited about something but you can't talk about it, but maybe you can? Wait, also, okay, look, green. It says, I made this book a while ago. This is my summer 2023 knitting book. I made this book in my print class. I printed these strawberries on it and I book bound it and all that good stuff. My binding is disgusting. Don't look at that too close, but it's cute because it's green, it's red, and it's pink. So we're really on theme today, you know? June, I'm on track, So I'm going to cast on the Road Tripper tee by Ozetta. I heard Rachel of Night Sky Knitting talk about this in her most recent knit and chat. And I know Ozetta, I believe Ozetta is Canadian. And I typically have stayed away from her stuff because it's very gray, beige, grayish, which is not, like, immediately I feel turned off by the color palette when I see it. When I see that kind of thing, I immediately think Scandi, not size inclusive, not for me, which is deeply judgmental. I am deeply judgmental. I'm not a perfect person. But Rachel was talking about this and I was like, oh, cute. And I looked it up and it's size inclusive and I was like, oh, all of that stuff for size inclusive. The silhouettes are lovely. Maybe I should not have written Ozetta off. So I'm gonna do the Road Tripper tee. It is a boxy silhouette, kind of just t-shirt with a few buttons on top, which to me, so I prefer a full coverage shirt, or most coverage. This is like kind of as showy as I get, because I love being looked at for fun and color, but I don't like being looked at, you know, and that's on me. It does not, no judgmental to anyone else, but that's for me, that's how I feel. And so I am going to knit that. It has buttons and it's a t-shirt, so I'm gonna knit that out of this Jody Long Flora. The color is actually Snowdrop. I picked this up when I was in LA, mostly because when I was in LA, it was depressing as hell. The LA yarn stores had nothing I was interested in. It was all either superwash or, I don't know, random tiny stuff. And it was really hard to get to all the stores in LA because everything in LA is so far apart. So I picked this up in LA kind of as like a guilt thing because Zoe had been so patient with me, like spending hours busing to these yarn stores. I wasn't getting anything. This is like the last one before he flew out, and she was so nice, and she was just like, okay, like, I'm just gonna sit here. And so, oh, there's Elton. Will he cause problems on purpose? Stay tuned. But it's heathered and it's quite sweet, so I'm gonna cast that on. And then the buttons I'm gonna use are these ones. They're so cutie pie. I got them at a fabric store closing out sale. Very sad. And I think I only have 3, so I'm gonna do 3 buttons on a button band. That's okay. So that's my June plans, and I'm gonna finish off hopefully my Beads of Joy top and Bead of Joy shirt. I'm not sure what the last part is, and my self-drafted bit, and show it to you in my podcast episode, which will be out next week probably. And that's all that I'm doing in June, I'm pretty sure. Yes, because there's only like 2 weeks left. I tend to average about 2 weeks a garment with short sleeves. I'm not a particularly fast knitter and I'm not a particularly thin knitter, so I typically, at this point in time, I'll knit an extra large. Sometimes a large, depending on, but most of the time an extra large. Especially if it's not going to be if it's going to be around my hips, I prefer to have the room. So I take about 2 weeks a garment if I'm knitting monogamously, which I'm never doing, but so I can assume that I can finish the 2 garments I have, plus I can start this summer top at that time. Okay, and then next is I'm gonna make 2 tank tops in July with as thin yarn as possible because July is just disgusting here. It's so humid and overcast and sticky all the time. It's awful. So I'm gonna make the Kutar top from Sari Nordland with this Holskarn in the color Ivory. It's half wool, half cotton, which I find to be a really good base for me. The top is quite open in the lace. It's like lace and then a stockinette body, which will be great because I'll cast it on and then the stockinette body will be on the road. My mom actually picked up these yarns for me. She's so sweet. We were, when I was in Vancouver, just doing some family stuff. She's so cute. We were in a yarn store. She's like, pick out anything you want. And obviously I was not going to pick out something expensive. That's like not, that'd be so rude, oh my god. So I just picked out like these little $10 cakes. And so I had these at first. She's like, you need more. And it's only 20 bucks, you have to get more. Yarn's more expensive. She knows, you know? And I was like, okay, I'll get another one. But I was so shy. I was like, oh, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. It's nice to be treated by someone you love, right? Zoe's bought me yarn before, my partner Zoe. And when she put me on, I was like, oh my god, like this is hot. Like, have you buy you yarn? Oh my god. That's my love language, to be honest. So I have another set of these for July, and I'm gonna make the Totally Tank. I've seen a lot of like knitters who look like so my biggest tip for you, if you have a body like me, is to look at what I knit. And if you have a body like me, find someone who does, because the way that the garment moves on that person's body is how it's going to move on your body. So always look for, I can't speak right now. I will only knit a garment if I can find someone who has a similar body to me who's already knit it. So if I can find someone who has like my same proportions and the same way that my fat hangs on my body, on their body, and I like the way it looks on their body, they'll knit it. So I'm seeing a lot of people in the Totally Tank looking good in the Totally Tank, so I'm gonna make a Totally Tank because it looks good. And I typically tend to try to stay away from new releases. I know the Couture top and the Totally Tank are both new releases. I've knit 85 million patterns from Jessie May. I've tested 15 of those forever and ever. And I just know it'll be good for my wardrobe. I know it fits my wardrobe. And same with Sarah Nordland. I have yet to be disappointed by the fit or the pattern instructions by anything that Sarah Nordland has ever done. Everything I've ever made from Sarah Nordland has been beautiful. I made the Laulu shawl and a couple sweaters. I find her yokes fit better than other people's yokes fit. And her raglans are better as well. She's elite, what can I say? She's just on the ball. So yes, those are my two cast-ons. And then I'm also going to be swatching my partner pullover. I've had the yarn set aside for months, and I just have to get that started because the deadline for me, my self-inflicted deadline is end of September, and I think most of my September will be dedicated to knitting on it. So I want to make sure I'm at least started for and like prepared for what that's going to look like, I guess. And also make sure that I'm not unhappy with my yarns. I'm currently working with superwash yarns for the sweater. I had picked them out long before I had done my research on superwash. And I'm going to talk about it every time I talk about superwash now, or the yarn that I'm using is superwash. I'm going to talk about it because I'm so disappointed in how the knitting world doesn't talk about how awful superwash yarn is for the environment, for the workers who make it, for long-term wear and tear. There's so much like misinformation about it. And there's so much information from dyers and companies who sell superwash yarn saying, oh, it's not that bad, it lasts a long time, blah, blah, blah. Don't look at that stuff. Look at peer-reviewed stuff and look at things that are not from people who are trying to sell you stuff. So anyways, oh my god, big rant. But I'm a little disappointed with the yarn I have picked out for it because of the superwash for the partner pullover. But I'm a little disappointed in the yarn that I've picked out for my partner pullover because it's superwash, and I'm worried about the longevity of the garment. I really want it to be a heritage piece, and so I am very much rethinking my choices for my partner pullover. And I might spin a good chunk of the yarn for it, but we'll see how that goes as well. Oh yes, and then the other thing is that I have this yarn, this Sammy yarn. It's sport weight. I have another skein of it caked up. I used it for my dappled lace raglan, and I really like the wear on it. It's worn quite well over the last year. And so I have 3 more skeins, and so I'm thinking I'm gonna pick up more and either do a moon crush or this lovely pattern by Amalia of Kindred Red. who I'm just generally obsessed with. I'll put both of those things here, obviously. But yes, I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of which one to do, because I'm thinking that the Amalia's pattern is a little bit too mature for me, or maybe not like my style. I'm not really a stripes person. I used to be, but not so much anymore. And then my qualm with the Moon Crush is that I'm pretty sure most of the Moon Crush tanks have been done in wool. And so I'm worried about the drape, and also intarsia with cotton, because I've never done that before. So those are my two. I don't know. And before I tell you my August plans, I want to show you, I have this yarn that I picked up from Sisterhood Fibers in Tatamagouche, and it is a cotton fingering weight yarn, and I'm not sure what I want to make with it. So I have 2 skeins of this, which totals, oh come on, give me the meters, about 310 meters, so about 620 meters, or 680 yards. And I'm not sure what I want to make with that, but I'm trying to use up as much of the yarn as possible in one go. And then the other one I have is, I got these on Clear Up such a long time ago, and they weren't really my colors for a long time, but now I think they are. And I'm thinking a summer shawl maybe, but they're variegated, they're quite lovely. It's Tahiti. I have no idea if they make any more. I bought these when I was like 15, maybe younger. But they've been in my stash forever, and I've never gotten rid of them. I just want to get them used up. I want to use them up, but they're so thin. These guys are like lace weight yarn. And if I had enough to make a dappled lace raglan, I would do that, but I don't think I have enough. Maybe the tank top, but I want to knit the full body of it. I think I want to do like the full length of it. And so then, speaking of plans, my August plan is to, August and in September, is to knit a full length lace dappled raglan like sweater, because I really want a summer sweater. I don't have any sweaters in full cotton, and I am fully aware that all over lace takes me forever and it drives me nuts. But when it's finished, I wear the hell out of it. I love all over lace. I think it's beautiful, and I know that I'll wear it a lot. So, hate to say it, but I am going to have to knit it because it's beautiful. And I've pushed the dappled lace raglan all the way to the end of summer, because I've knit like 15 Change and Watts patterns in a row right now. Yeah, so I'm not doing that. I refuse. I have to give myself a break, because I know they watch my podcast sometimes, and I don't want to be like, and this was James, and this was James, and this was James, and that would be really embarrassing for me, because they're cool, and I don't want to embarrass myself in front of a cool person, obviously. Be like, I'm like, oh my god, I'm like such a big fan. It's like, I am, but I can't say that, because cool people don't say that, you know. And then I have 2 floaters, so obviously I only have one thing planned for September, but I think it's because it'll take me forever, and also because I want to get sort of my partner pullover. But if I feel like I'm not 100%, like I'm like, maybe I want to add something else, blah blah blah, I want to make the sun gazer. I'm making the Beads of Joy with Spin Cycle right now, and it looks beautiful. Once again, super wash, but fuck, it's beautiful. And I think the sun gazer, I have a colorway from them, from Spin Cycle, that I love, called Big Sky. There's that. And yeah, that's that. Oh, and also my other plan is the Made You Look top, which is one of those really skimpy tops I was talking about that will have no support and I probably won't really wear, and that's why I'm probably not going to make it. But god, it looks beautiful. It looks so nice. So I'm like, oh, I really want to, but I don't know. We go back and we go forth and blah blah blah. So anyways, so what I need from you, the viewer, I need recommendations for this. It is lace weight, and there's only about, oh frig, only about 500 meters of this, so 600 yards. And this one, which I have about 600 meters of. as well. This one is lace weight, this one's fingering. Tell me what you think I should make, please. Please, I need your help. And also have more options because I'm tired of not wearing my summer tops because I have been not wearing my summer tops. Anyways, okay, that's everything. Coming up next, you'll probably see I got 2 videos that I'm filming very soon. One of them is my podcast coming up, and the other one, it's just like a regular podcast episode. I'm doing a spinning episode because I've been spinning my little brains out, and I want to show you all of the roving I've been dyeing. I bought 22 pounds of Corey on the internet, and I thought I was buying 10 pounds. So I've been dyeing that up. I bought some like blank yarns to dye that I'm really excited about. I'm just feeling really excited in general, I think, to be honest. Oh, and the last episode is I do have an unpopular opinions episode coming out because God knows I have so many unpopular opinions, which is also just a knit and chat. So you're gonna be seeing a lot from me in the next couple months. I feel really good in the summertime. It is Cancer season, which is almost Cancer season. It's still Gemini season, which is fine. I've got a Gemini stellium, but summertime is Cancer season in my mind always. And I have a Cancer, my birthday's coming up, so I'm a big birthday. I'm one of those assholes who loves their birthday. I love my birthday. I like to make it all about me. I'll wear a crown if someone lets me. And I'm just rambling at you now. Okay, I'm done talking. Thank you for sitting and watching. Enjoy your day. I hope it's sunny where you are. Okay, love you, bye. Mwah, 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 mwah.